I love the Lenox pattern. What instructions would be recommended on how to raise the height of the square neckline? Great question. I would love to show you. Here's how to raise the neckline on Lenox. Lenox is a princess seamed knit top and dress pattern. And while these instructions are specific to Lenox, you could use the same basic concept on many other patterns as well. Lenox is on special today. It is our Feature Friday pattern at Love Notions. Make sure that you check back every Friday to see what pattern we're featuring. And one thing that's great about Lenox is that there's two different neckline styles. There's a square neckline style and a sweetheart neckline style. And the basic idea here will apply to both. All right, I have all of my pattern pieces cut out and ready to go. This was actually a really easy part of the process because of that printed pattern. Everything was ready to go, and Lenox actually is one of the best patterns that are printed at Love Notions because it has so many views and options. The full bust, the different skirts, the shirt, crop, top, all that. There are 7 different pages of large format prints that get sent to you, all for the same price as a regular pattern. Just in case you were planning to purchase a printed large format version of Lenox, you might as well grab it from us because it's all printed ready to go for a standard shipping rate and same price as any other pattern, even though it has 7 different pages to print. So pattern is full of options. So let's take a look at all of our pattern pieces that we've got. So we're only going to be making 2 adjustments to the pattern pieces. On one, we're going to be adjusting the height of the shirt center front piece. I'm sewing the standard bust version, but there is a full bust version as well. And then we're going to make an adjustment to the back neck band, the side and the back neck band, because as we bring up that height, the back neck band is going to have to compensate. So if you take a look at the line drawing here, there are 2 pieces to the neck band. There's the front that goes along the center front panel, and then we have one long piece that goes around the side and the back. Now I have made a height adjustment for myself using the length and shorten line, and I did that here just to be consistent because all of the rest of the pattern pieces, the back, the sides, all of those different pattern pieces need to be adjusted in coordination. And while I don't need to change the height of the neckline height of the back piece, I needed to keep it consistent with the center front panel. So I just did all of those consistently around the entire pattern. And now I'm going to go in and make an adjustment to raise this neckline here. But if you take a look at the pattern piece, you will notice that there is a slight curve along the top of the pattern. And so I don't want to just add more height here. I want to be able to replicate that curve. And if you take a look, you will also see that there is extra flare that happens along the sides of the center front panel too. So this isn't just like a plain rectangle. So what I'm going to be doing is going down about 1 inch. I'm going to cut a straight line across this, and then I'm going to add in about 1 inch of extra height for the top of my pattern piece, maintaining that curve. So let's take our ruler, draw across the pattern piece, cut that pattern piece straight across, and then separate it by about 1 inch. Now you can choose to add in more length to your center front panel piece if you would like to. I would recommend not doing more than probably 1 to 3 inches. Keeping in mind that whatever you add in to the center front panel, you're going to need to take away when you make the adjustment to the neckband, the total length of the neckband. I like to use STP paper to separate the pattern pieces and always make sure to keep it consistent as you add in that extra length. The sides here should be trimmed, and that should be pretty easy since these are straight lines, and then always make sure to trim up the neckline so it still has that nice curve. And as you are doing these adjustments, you're going to need to adjust that neckband as well, just the back neckband, because you're not changing the width of the center front panel. But the back neckband should be given an equal amount, just the converse of whatever you added. So if you added an inch, you need to take away an inch from the total length. Now remember, this is cut on the fold, so you need to take away an inch from the total length, keeping in mind that that pattern is cut on the fold. Next, it's time to just dive into the regular pattern tutorial. We're going to apply everything exactly as depicted in the instructions. Now, the neckline here looks more complicated than it actually is, but you're going to follow the instructions even though you have made some adjustments to the neckline coverage. And while the instructions all stay the same, the markings do need to get changed. So when you're applying your back neckband, you stop sewing about 1 inch from the marking, and that marking is actually going to need to be moved up however much you increase the height of your center panel. So this neckline seems tricky, but if you just follow the instructions, you should be fine. The key is making sure that you have things sandwiched correctly as you're applying that center front panel. You're going to be putting that center front panel between the neckband and the side panel. This is what mine looks like as I'm sewing it. I've got my center front panel here, just made an adjustment to the height of this piece, and then the back neckband, I subtracted an inch from the total length. I also adjusted my markings. So I'm going to slide this in between the back neckband and the side piece. I'm going to scoot that on up there. Then I'm going to flip the back of the neckband back over and then pin all this down and sew. And I just want to make the regular disclaimer that the band length that you use is very much dependent on the composition of your fabric. So it might take some muslins or some trial and error to get the length adjusted just right. So that's how you raise the neckline for the Lenox pattern. I've not previously raised the neckline, but I really like how this lays on me right now. So I might do this in the future again. I hope that was easy for you to understand. And if you have any other questions, make sure you let me know. So that's my Lenox make. This isn't a modal fabric, but I've sewn it previously in a Swiss dot. I've sewn it in a double brush poly. I have sewn the sweetheart neckline. I've sewn the dress version with the slit, and there's even a sew along if you want to see how to sew the whole thing from start to finish. So don't miss out on Lenox Top and Dress sewing pattern. It is on special today only, and you can get the printed for you version shipped free. Take advantage while you can and enjoy your sewing.